Well, we move from government shutdown to government restart. What does that mean in farm country? Well, AgriTalk host Chip Flory joining us this weekend. He talked about the restart this week on AgriTalk and joins us now. Chip, now that the spending bill to fund the government, at least temporarily, has been passed, how long until the government is actually back at full capacity?
Yeah, it's going to take a little while, but it's going to be different for agriculture than it is for other segments of the country or the economy to get the government back up and running. And the reason that I say that is because ag farming has got a running start on this. The county FSA offices have been have been reopened. There are some of the farm program payments are being made. NASS has got some funding to restaff and to get some very important data out. We got the crop production and supply and demand report out on Friday. This coming Friday, we're going to get a cattle on feed report. So we're getting a running start. And we got to keep this in mind as well with the restart. President Trump has promised, USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins has promised a trade aid package, a bridge payment, let's call it that, to farmers to help them through this trough in cash flow. Now, I talked to Tom Sell from Combest and Associates last week on AgriTalk to try to get a handle on the timing and the size of what this trade aid package is going to be. Not surprisingly, the trade deal with China will have an influence on both the timing and the size of that aid.
Certainly, I'd say there's more optimism in ag country today than there was even a month ago. But there is still this need, and the bridge is a great way to describe it because of this kind of dearth of payments. You have these ARC PLC payments for October, which they've gotten out, which are so important, but they're based on 2024 crop year prices, which were just far better than they are now. And so you may have had, I think, $2.3 billion going out in this ARC and PLC, while Congress and while the administration has been talking more in the range of $10 to $15 billion in a bridge type of package. So that's a pretty big bridge, and that will provide some much needed and really helpful relief to so many farm families across the nation.
Is a big bridge, up to $15 billion in this trade aid package. Timing is a little tough to call on this as they evaluate just how well how China is respecting the trade deal that was struck with President Trump and the U.S. If there are indications that China is going to make the purchases of soybeans, expect to see a market reaction that may buy a little bit of time for USDA, slow down the trade aid. Now, if China shows any indication that they're not going to live up to what's in the agreement, look for the Trump administration and USDA Secretary Brooke Rollins to move pretty quick on this aid.
Thank you, Chip. Well, we warned you last week it was going to get downright frigid over the weekend, and it reached into the deep south. But areas of the north also seeing their first snow. Luckily, the cold was short-lived. So how long will these milder temperatures stick around? We have a check of weather with BAM Weather next.